Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft Ideas. This time we're gonna look at some bridge designs that I made, and we're gonna start off with this little fellow over here, which is actually more of an aqueduct, which is a bridge for water. But of course, a bridge for water could also work as a normal bridge if you just remove the water, because that's how those things work. So design-wise, it is a very simple bridge with bricks and granite, but and all that shenanigans. Of course, you need to have a good foundation in the water so your bridge doesn't crumble, and then your design above it. Each one of the bridges that we are going to see right now are designed so we can copy it on each side. So if you take this section and you put it on the side over here on the other side, then you can just keep going forever. All of the future bridges we're going to see are all designed in a way that you can expand on it. So that's our first bridge. The lights on top, very beautiful as well. It's a very narrow pathway, but it works for just normal players or just in general. You don't really need a wide passageway in Minecraft. It's just a narrow one like this works as well. If you go on this side, you can see it a little bit better as well, as the lightning does the job better. And you see it's a very standard bridge. This bridge can fit in a medieval village or in like an early industrial village as well, like one of those robust villages where they start using bricks in mass buildings. That could be a very nice spot for one of these bridges. And of course, if you're gonna look at it at night, you will see at the bottom it's very dark, but the top layer where you walk is bright enough to walk, and it's bright enough so no monsters will spawn in here. So it works good enough. Then if you look over to our next bridge, this is a little bit more experimental one. This is what I call a futuristic bridge. The bridge is flying by all these waves down here. Maybe it's magnetic, maybe some science stuff that we can't explain yet, but this is how the bridge works. So basically on the bottom you got these lights that send shockwaves to the top, and over here they send shockwaves back like two magnets, like there's just big magnets. But some more of the maybe electrical wires below that. For the electrical wires I use the warp, I think it's warp stem. No, it's just warp. Yeah, it's warp stem. Yeah, just warp stem. So with electrical wires I use a warp stem, as they kinda look like they're electrical. You see that with the glowing the blue light underneath it. So yeah, that's what I try to do here, so it gives you more of a futuristic vibe. Of course, you can also go over the water, so we can go like this underwater as well, and just keep expanding it until wherever you want to go. The road itself is deepslate tiles and mud, with also some wood stone slabs, so you got different sections of the road. You can see you got a sidewalk where you can walk around, then you got your main road, maybe for cars or maybe for minecarts. You can put two Minecraft rails on top of it as well, and you can... yeah, that might actually work very well over here if you put two rails next to each other for Minecraft rails, so that you can go one to the other way a little bit faster. Maybe that's a little... maybe it's adds more to your futuristic city build. That's something you have to decide for yourself. Then if you look more below the bridge, you will see all those components. I like to imagine that these are also electrical components which keep the magnets activated. These are all electrical wires going down from the bridge. Then at night, the bridge is well lit from below, and on top of it it's a little bit darker, but it should be lit enough. You can switch the lantern with normal lanterns if that's more your thing. But overall it's a very well lit bridge, which should keep the monsters away from on top of the bridge, but also below the bridge. Then next up we got well, modern day bridge, I would say. Well, it's not really a bridge, more of a water dam, so it keeps the water flowing. You see over here the water here is higher than on the other side, and this bridge keeps, well, it's just a normal dam. You know how dams work, right? They just keep the water flowing from one end to the other. You can also deactivate the water. So let's say you rather have your water from one side and you want to make it stop flowing, and you can just go in here, open the door, fill this lever, and as you can see it's all closed off. Conception of that is very simple as well. Why are there bats here? Hello friends. Conception itself is rather simple. Just a double piston extender, as you can see. We have repeater below going into that piston, then observer looking at that thing and going into a block. So once this thing gets activated, it goes into this piston and go back down. And they're basically all the same. They use 2x2 blocks with slime behind it, so it can all be pushed up together very nicely. It's just a very simple design. Then the design on the bridge itself is very modern. It's more a grayish, very ugly gray, but it fits the theme of like a modern bridge. Very gray, some moss here and there, some darker parts with the tuff to show that this bridge has been used quite a lot, and it's also a little bit wet. Try to use some lichen below as well. I didn't notice, or at least I didn't test it before, but if you use vines, then they can't actually get waterlogged. So if you use vines here, they just get instantly destroyed. But with lichen, you can actually put it underwater and it's not a problem whatsoever. So it's a very good detail if you want to add more algae to your underwater builds. So that's why I put some algae, and I think most of my bridges have algae if they're like going underwater, like this one or that one. That gives you more of a algae vibe, as I said. So it's very simple. The bridge is lit up well enough for the monsters. Maybe if you put the lantern a little bit lower, it's even better. But it's lit up well enough. I'm also using a daylight detector on top of the lights, so they are turned off by day but are turned on by night. So if you turn back day, you'll see that they're turned off. Then last but not least, we got this beautiful overgrown bridge. Everyone knows that I'm kinda loving the overgrown style. I'm a big sucker for the nature combined with the building style of buildings. I don't know why, but I just prefer the ruins-like buildings, and I will never not love them. As you can see over here, we got a tree-like structure with the bridge being made of entirely out of wood, except for the foundation, which is made out of stone. And yeah, there's some squids in here. I forgot to make this thing. Oh god, there's a lot of them. I forgot to make this thing filled up, and now it's hollow in here, and all the squids are spawning. So that's also something you have to remember when you make something underwater, is to actually make it not hollow, or else all the squids are gonna spawn, and that's not something that you want. If we take a further look at this building, you can see there's a lot of leaves. This bridge has been here for quite some time. It can still be used, as you can see. This is still very well made. Well, there might be some holes here and there, but obviously you don't have to do that. I just really like the goal that it adds another element to the building. It says like, hey, this bridge, it's basically breaking apart. Maybe it shouldn't be on here. Maybe it might be a little bit unsafe. I also use different kind of colors for the wood to show like maybe some wood is being rotten and is almost falling off, but it's just barely holding on. And yeah, I added some more openings here and there. Also the roof over here, it has been, well, it's just broken. Just entire hole here. And beneath that there's more leaves. Just imagine this bridge crossing an entire canyon. I reckon that might be very beautiful. But then again, other details we have here is more moss and yeah, vines everywhere. Again, you can use strings to make the vines stop. You can also use buttons or any other blocks. But the strings are the best ones to use, as it's almost invisible unless you like come really close to it. Even then, even then you have to really look for it. I also use glow berries here and there. You can also add some bone meal to the glow berries, so they actually grow some berries and give extra light to the build. But I don't think it was that necessary, so you just kept it as. And if you look at night, you'll see that the bottom part of the building is very dark, but top part of the bridge is light enough. It's actually very bright. There's no monster that will spawn here, so it's a very safe bridge as well, except for all the holes. So that was that. Those were my 4 bridge designs. I hope you will enjoy this episode. I really had a blast designing all these bridges, and I hope you were inspired enough to make your own bridge in your survival or even creative world. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya!